One and all, I think this summarizes this matchup perfectly. I love Demu, but damn, I cannot vote for English. Welcome back to the channel for game number 2 of this best of 5 single elim between Team Liquid.Demu and Kiljadi. Kiljadi, after beating the Order of the Dragon, now looks to educate old man Benny on how it works. We are on Lakeside, or as we like to call it, Pants. If you just look at the minimap now as we rotate it. Right now you're going, oh, that's why he calls it Pants. Yes, that's right. Everyone likes to play onto the crotch area here for the fish. You only get one deep water fish on each side. But here's the funny thing. One deep water fish doesn't sound like a lot. And you'd think that would encourage people to occasionally just play land instead for pro scouts with all the deer on the other side of the map, or 2TC. I can assure you it does not. Almost every single game of Lakeside, last time we had it in competitive play, ended up being play the water, win the water, or lose the game. It shows you just how decisive and honestly oppressive fishing is in Age of Empires 4. Deep water fish is just such a superior gathering rate, and it's a renewable resource. And the other thing that players realize on this map is if you beat your opponent on water, well, now I don't have one deep water fish. I can have 2. Because then I can pull the villager with a transport ship and dock your side. All of a sudden, it makes sense why you can't skip it.
Yes, sir.
So, how does Demu want to approach this matchup? In theory, you have to play the water. There is this philosophy of, like, you open water but don't commit hard that some players have been going for. Very mixed results, but the logic is that if your opponent wants to push you off of water, it's a very expensive investment, right? They're going to build probably 3 sprinkled ships, a demo ship as well, at least. And all you have to really do to get that type of play out of them, by the way, guys, is build, like, 1 sprinkled ship. Then they'll overreact. And what you can do in the meantime is, in some cases, it's about castles like Japanese. But for English, it could be as simple as an all-in longbow rush here to secure the game. Because the thing that's quite interesting about Lakeside, very defensive spawn. One element that is very hard to defend, though, against range comps like longbows is the forward gold. You do have a back gold, but it's just so far away. Beginning is going to be Ark and Chapel coming in. 6 on it. Demu yet to start his own tech up. A little bit slower on the gold gathering. I believe he added in, additional fishing boats here. Has he got a 4th coming? No, they actually both stopped at 3. So very heavy reaction now coming in with the Abbey of Kings. Now, you might not want to bet on English. I get it. But there is one way to play Ing right now that I'm a big fan of. And it comes from a certain Spaniard. You guys might recall the Abbey of Kings into archers and spearmen type builds that Vortex was doing en masse in his prep for the One Trick Pony tournament. I think that can be a solid way to try and play this. Curious to see if Demu wants to lean towards it, or if we just get something a little bit more greedy. What do you guys think of Lakeside, by the way? I get the concept of the map, but like we said, the problem is that water is just so oppressive that you have to engage with it. And I think that's unfortunate. Because what it was trying to achieve was quite smart. Very limited food, so you have options. Because if I put, for example, 4 deep water fish in front of you, it's obvious what you can do every game, right? No one picks 4 lakes and then doesn't fish. That's not true. There's been like 1 or 2 cheesy builds, but it relies on your opponent's ignorance to work, right? Because usually if someone doesn't play 4 lakes ponds, you can still play 1 pond. It's just you get killed if you go 2 ponds versus none. So it's all about temperament, right? But the concept of what they try to do here, I respect the attempt. I think part of the issue they ran into with this map is still this cliff. This cliff is way too defensive. There's only one route round to the back where they've got gold, wood, and their dock. And that's all the way around the back tree line, and this is always just walled off. I think that really lets Lakeside down conceptually as a map. So our ship's coming out from both sides. Demu does have the edge here. Kiljadi's trying to go for kills. He goes for the worker instead, but quick pull away. Now, what Demu could do from here is not, like, blow it out of proportion on water. Right? He could actually just now play about land, but it looks like Kiljadi's doing that instead. So, Archer ship. You see what I'm talking about the bait and switch? Neither player's adding in an additional boat yet. They're both trying to cheapskate this. Demu, as a result, doesn't at least get to idolize his opponent, and he has taken the bait. Spring ship coming in. Killjoy has got that one horseman. The king! Are you kidding me here? 8 HP, but he actually does get away. Crazy as well, because Killjoy, I don't think he realized it. Yeah, the horseman could have secured that. That would have been huge. Demu, he is doing what we talked about. Second spring now coming in. Probably 3 junk ships is what you're looking for, or hulks rather, and then you sometimes need the demo, but because Killjoy opened with an archer ship here, it's unnecessary. The question now is whether Killjoy can blob enough horsemen to do real damage. It's a little bit tricky with the goal being close to the TC, but the logic he's running with here is against English. They don't have a good defense against horsemen. These villages are going to be pathetic. Normally, if one horseman, even a gilded horseman, jumps into a tree line, 15 villagers turn around with shivs, you're in trouble. This guy's not going to care because it won't be shivs. It'll be short bows. So Demu is going to have to pull away. Nice start there, forces some idle time. Other side, the king did get the kill on the villager hanging around, though. Yeah, Killjoy never backed it up back to the base. Horseman is going to be able to chase this down, though, and that should be king dead. Big deal, expensive unit being lost. It's actually so jarring sometimes when you have to play against OOTD like this. And we see the overinvestment we talked about, right? Demu did even go for the demo ship. So demo, archer, double springald. King goes down in the meantime. The reason why he went for the demo, by the way, is to guarantee there's no sort of playback here for Killjoy. Because if he does bring a springald, instantly almost dead. If he brings out an archer ship, who cares? Just dodge it. If he brings out another demo, you can basically get it low enough that the springald archer ships will finish it off before it hits your units. And also, all alongside that, you'll detonate it straight away next to the dock, accelerating the kill point. What do you guys think they need to do with water to make it more interesting? Because, like, I'm trying to take a more productive route here. We always hear people say, oh, I don't like water, I hate water, blah, blah, blah. Water's a problem. Water needs to be reworked. Okay, but what's the rework? What fixes the problem entirely? What makes it good? I gave my views on it. I believe it was yesterday we talked about it a little. About a concept that I think would be really good for the game. I don't think they'll do it because it's just fundamentally so different. But I kind of like the idea of every boat being a bit like a transport ship. A transport ship that gets weapons. It's almost like Marlioning all the ships, right? Where you put units inside, you get firepower. And that also makes each individual boat much more valuable and risky. So risk-reward gets reassessed that way. It also means you don't have this immediate snowball of like, oh my god, like, this water play is like oppressive with just 2 springalds. I also think it gives an interesting hybridization between being about land and being about water. Because you can, in the end, pull those units out and go back to the offensive, right? Fish traps have a boat that drags nets to slow ships that go through them. So you basically want like mines. Would it be a controversial take to say historically most people have not liked traps in RTSs? Basically things you cannot see that can trigger, right? Like we know how people feel about widow mines in StarCraft. We remember the Vietnamese mines in the modded AoE4. I'm just thinking about, like, in general, my take is, like, whenever I've seen those type of, like, subterfuge mechanics that are mines, like, hell, even in like, FPSs, I hate mines, right? I hate the idea of just these lazy defensive units that just sit there. Giant octopus like Red Alert 2. I felt different about that, at least. But yeah, like, a lot of them, it's always felt like these are a bit obnoxious. Speaking of noxious things, we do have Killjoy now with the Gilded Knights. Tech up to follow. Demu's done something kind of crazy here, guys. He walked out into the center of the map. He's making it about the relics. Okay, this is sick. This is counterplay to Regnitz. I love it so much. Look at the relic locations. This is a sick read by Ben. And he gets out there so quickly because Gilded Knights are too slow to come. Wow. Ballsy, risky, but pays off. Killjadi has a problem now. A big one at that. I expect Demu's going to be going for this relic first because the other two should be relatively safe, protected by the White Tower. The prelates. Is he really cycling all the way around the back? This is crazy. Like, the fact that Killjadi has 3 prelates but no relics. He has at least got this one over here, but that also could get sniped. Demu, the Sprawl ship isn't quite as close as it could be. Meanwhile, on land, it looks like there's going to be a hit in. Outpost does go up. He tries to snipe the healer boy first. Should be able to get him. No, it switches target. So it gets out of range here, but look at that. Yeah, the prelate not able to get it away. He did drag it further inland, though, so the next prelate should be capable of getting out of range here. Meanwhile, Gilded Knights are wasting a lot of Demu's time. He's massing Knights himself, but he needs to intercept the relics. Do you have new Knights coming to deal with that? Has got the quick production speed out of this. Every 20 seconds he gets a Knight. My worry is the Warlords, the 2 Gilded Knights here, should be more than enough to hold him back. So Killjadi, got to be happy with this result, right? Ends up getting 3 relics overall. Troop ships where combat consists of ships to block and board. Yeah, so I thought about going that deep, but I know, like, to the extreme of having it so that units can walk onto other boats, that would be an entirely new game engine, which is why I didn't, like, push aggressively that idea. There's been, like, 1 or 2 RTSs years ago that in the early 2000s done that, and it was really cool. Like, basically, imagine if, you know, you had a barge this big, and then you could basically move units around with on top of the barge. That's a bit too far. I wouldn't expect them to do that. But just the idea of, like, transporting, like, units, garrisoning aside to add firepower and movement speed, etc. So, like, the idea that the boat has to be manned by a crew, I quite like. So, goodies at home. Killjadi in a confident position now when it comes to relics. Still has some negatives. Most noteworthy would, of course, be the situation with water. In fact, yeah, I was waiting for this. Demu has got the transport ship now coming. So remember that dynamic we talked about. You win water. Congratulations. Firm handshakes. Firm handshakes. Why would I settle for 1 deep water when I can have 2? The response from Demu is going to be focused on the sacred sites. He's gathering for keep drops. It's ballsy. It's a long target. Especially with what Killjadi's doing. He already has the Palace of Swabia. It's not often you see OOTD rush Imperial Age these days. But this is kind of wacky. Killjadi got what he needed off the map. Demu's timing now is rough. He only is sitting on 1 TC because he chose the defensive landmark. And this dive-in is going to fail him. Love that. Just enough Gilded Knights to hold the choke point. Damn, Killjadi is on fire today. I'm pretty sure, like, historically and competitive, Demu is still heavily favored on results, but not today. Can you imagine how janky it'd be to have a moving ship with units moving aside? Yeah, like, one immediate issue that becomes apparent is, like, if I had a barge like this and on the barge I had units moving around, what happens when I do this? Would I select the units and the barge, and then what's the interaction? Right? It's problematic. I do love the idea of a more intricate boat system on some layer, though. I mean, I wouldn't say go this way, but did anyone play the... Oh, what's it called? Was it Treasure Planet? Yeah, Treasure Planet. I still haven't watched that movie, by the way, but I played the game. There was a Treasure Planet RTS. I don't know if I fully caught an RTS. Like, you controlled a few boats. I think it's called Treasure Planet Battle of... What was it? Procyon. Oh, you could actually even get it on Steam. But the whole idea is, like, you have these different boats in your fleet. All of their unique quirky elements. I think you could also upgrade certain components on the boats. Pretty cool. The correct is Killjadi or Killjadi. So most of us call him Killjadi, but if you want to be Finnish about it, yeah, it should be Killjadi. I mean, if you get him to pronounce his own name, he'll say Killjadi. Wall's up for Demu. Has got a long way to go, but check this. Outpost over. Outpost. No extra keep, but he's gathering additional stone, and he has the option for a Berkshire. Yeah, this is all in on the timing. My worry is, like, Kiljadi, the answer right now is to go Trebs, right? So if you just lean more into Trebs, already you have the answer to Berkshire. What is scary, by the way, we haven't seen Demu do it yet. Sometimes it feels meaningful. Normandy. You can transpo drop, even just to the back here. You know your opponent's going to have to fall back to the gold eventually. If you find that timing with a handful of knights, you could massacre. Same with trees as well. Like, with Kiljadi's position in the game, it's unlikely he comes down to this tree line. He's thinking about the corner. Demu is just going to try to march in boldly. The villager... Oh, the timing on that! Kiljadi, with the outpost, saw it being built up. He denies the villager. So no extension on fishing for Demu. Wow, that was a sick read. Crossbow's now massing to deal with the knights. Remember, Demu isn't scaling more army. What he's doing very efficiently here is wasting Kiljadi's time. Prepping for the age up, which should be coming in any second now. In fact, wouldn't be surprised if we see Berkshire on the close sacred site and then a keep drop on the far one. Makes sense, right? Because the whole idea is for efficiency, Kiljadi is going to try to come to this sacred site because it's close to his base. So if you drop the Berkshire here, you can repair it infinitely with wood. If you drop the keep here, very expensive to do stone. Looks like the boys are going to move out. So forces the doctor now. Even gets a springle ship for his troubles. We'll better back away. So potential actually for Kiljadi to go back onto water. Remember, if he does that, he would have Carracks. Okay, Berkshire a little bit further north, but this still does protect the sacred site. Oh, we do have the transpo ship. Was he getting ready to react here? I would have been surprised if he committed there. The crossbows would have killed him. Can't spend resource on water. It's a little bit weird. Like, you could add one Carrack, but yeah, your opponent can react transpose. And in fairness, he doesn't really need the food. Look at what he's done. He's up to 28 farms. He's fine. Still making no siege? No, Kiljadi's trying to scale an army to win the fight first. Because if you just add in siege, your opponent with knights could snipe you. You have to have, like, a sufficient army to commit afterwards. He's going rams. That part is surprising. And what is up, Super Grella? That's a wonderful surprise. Appreciate the prime sub. Remember, guys, get those prime subs in. It's that time of the month. The month just began. We are in March. You need to make sure you're doing that every single month. Make it a habit. Then you don't have to worry about those pesky ads. You can just enjoy an ad-free viewing experience. Also, did I mention we have loads of cool emotes here on Twitch? They are pretty bog. I'm sure the Twitch chatters will be more than willing to show them off to you. Am I seeing that correctly? We have shattering projectiles coming in. This tech always gets overlooked. That's kind of nutty. Double treb already. Yeah, so this is anti-trebbing trebs, basically. Also love this. Houses on the front side just kind of starve off the population. But the logic now is if Kiljadi goes trebuchets, these ones can beat him. Where's the additional keep? He doesn't... What, you mean he doesn't need it? He's got one down here. That's to be expected, but this is fine. He also has boats nearby to also assist him. I think... Can he reach the outpost? He could. But look, yeah, you just go straight after the treb. Once you're up to 4, you can guarantee kills quite reliably here. Yeah, I've got the Inspired Warriors tech coming in just to buff the damage up a little bit. Sadly, Inspired Warriors doesn't affect bonus damage, though, as you just saw there. So it's only a pretty pathetic +6. Demu now trying to bait my range. Okay, so once Sharon Projectiles is in, these things should just be able to always keep hitting. They could even snipe villagers trying to repair. It's time to find out just how good or bad projectiles are. It's been a long time since we had the shattering. It's going after the outpost. Kiljadi is going to start committing in. Demu needs to get out of here. Has got the transport ship to get him out. Is he trying to bait for the demo? It's not very effective against knights. No, instead he's going to try to go into the base, but that was expensive. Only a few knights make it through. Demu has no standing military behind this. But the Trebs are doing the business right now. He needs to focus fire on them. Otherwise, the Berkshire will snowball to death. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the focus fire on the outpost. E-repairs is now on cooldown, so you should be able to get it. But, like, the outpost makes sense if you want to dive. I think Demu's doing this because of the vision aspect. With the relic inside, this vision is all from that outpost. It's why I've complained about it in the past. It's actually why it got nerfed. The sight range used to be, I think, 35%. They reduced it. And quite rightly so. It was insane. It's going to be an insane raid, though. Backside hit. Knights are going to find the gold workers, but there's just so many to kill here. We'll have to pull away. He's at least keeping the Gilded Knights in check. Let's give the gatehouse now. We're down to a minute and a half. He needs to make sure this does not get sniped down. It will open the way. He's still going after that outpost. And the wall's been broken. Demu with 7 trebuchets has 0 military units to defend them. Goes for a quick wall again. Oh my god, what is happening? Break on the wall. A break-in, and now it's time to rob the joint. There is nothing to defend him here. Walks on forward. Even has the Inspired Warriors buff for the armor to stand here. I cannot believe this. Demu has got 2,000 surplus, food and gold sitting there, and none of it is going into standing army. He goes for the clutch play into a Revoltaquin, but guys, that's a Revoltaquin into mass crossbows. Sounds like a recipe for disaster for Ben. Hand cannoneers now being queued up, but where were they a minute ago? Nothing here in time. Sacred Site decap for Kiljadi. And Demu now in harsh waters. This is insane. I can't believe that. 7 trebuchets. Most of them now dead. Kiljadi almost dispatching the Berkshire. And the white town next to it, I mean, he can just go through the cycle of deleting these. There's going to be a re-wall attempt by Demu. Behind this, he doesn't have a second TC. His farm count is also a little bit underwhelming. He's sitting at 16 farms. Meanwhile, look at Kiljadi, up at 28. Yeah, you can see the difference in food workers there, right? They're kind of neck and neck, but the difference in income. With less, Kiljadi's ahead. He didn't have vision on the Trebs. Wouldn't he have seen them attacking through the Shroud? He has vision here. I don't know if that's... Okay, so yeah, Kiljadi, he backed them up here. You're correct originally. But there was a point where I think Demu was still attacking the outpost when they were this close. Good eyes from Duraz. But like when they attack, you can see them, right? And you can attack ground. I wonder if like you just have to attack ground here. So I'm trying to remember the exact range. Because obviously if they're in range to attack the Berkshire, they're in range to get hit. You know what might have been the difference maker for Demu now that I think about it? What if he'd gated here? Because if you gate, you can walk up to here and then shoot in and then back in. I guess it gets a little bit clowny though. Like we've seen how awkward it gets when you have like 6 siege weapons all trying to get through a gate. They just kill each other, right? Like 'cause no one moves and then units gap close. The fix for that, by the way, is to build like 4 gates. I just haven't really seen people try that with stone walls, because we don't get stone walls often. It's usually for palisades, where it works well. But that's it, guys. Berkshire down. I mean, there's no denying it now, right? This is over. Kiljadi's going to go 2-0 up. This man looks unstoppable in this series. Cool attempt by Demu. Very creative approach going into the Trebs. We just never see them. I think we got a reminder of why. I don't know. The Sharon projectiles to me didn't really feel like it had an impact here. That's been the case for a long time. There was a time where Sharon projectiles was the most toxic thing in this game. Since then, nerfed in the ground, we never see it again. I think we may have just got a reminder as to why.